time to get ready for fall planting. Are you ready? Let's go.
Let's go on a walk through the garden.
Hey pretty peas, welcome back, and it's time to get ready for our fall garden. To start, we're going to start with some regular topsoil and add in some manure. It says it's deodorized, but it still smells like shit. Next, we're going to add some mushroom compost and dump it all into a pile. Our next step is to grab some compost that I made from kitchen scraps and some of our animals' droppings from the chicken coop and so on, and we're going to add that into our pile as well and give it a good mix. Once we have this completely combined, we're going to put it back into a wheelbarrow, and I am going to lay about a 1-inch thick layer on top of all of my beds. Because my garden beds are well established, this is pretty much all I have to do, but in the previous years I did have to do a lot more. Your soil is its own little ecosystem, so it's important to water even on your off season to keep all these little beneficial critters alive. Next, I am going to grab some of this Espelma's Garden Tone. If you want to know more about this, you can check out my sister's Part 2 strawberry video, where she talks about the NPK numbers on the side of the bag and what they mean for your garden and your plants. But back to this. I'm going to add a small layer on top, avoiding the actual plants, just kind of dressing around them. Next, I'll add some fish fertilizer. Back in the day, they used to put fish carcasses directly in the soil and plant underneath them. This used to feed the plants as the fish would break down, but I don't have a lot of fish laying around, so I'm going to use this. Next, I'll grab some molasses. Molasses is a great fertilizer because on top of feeding the worms, it improves the hardiness of the plant. Bugs typically go for less hardy plants because they're easier to attack. So if you have a nice healthy plant, chances are the insects will leave it alone. So we'll add a good helping of that into there and mix that up with some water. We'll put this puppy in 2-wheel drive and give everything a nice good sprinkle. Once all of this is spread out, I will start a list of everything that I'm going to plant this year with the help of my toddler. In order to start this list, I go to my Seed to Spoon app. I open this up and it gives me a list of everything that is ready to plant for my zone. It gives me a list of things that I can start inside as seedlings or plant directly into the soil, plants that pair well with other plants, insects to look out for, and more. You can also go into details and look at the plant date, the harvest date, temperatures that it does well in, and soil types. There's a lot more information on this app, so I highly recommend checking it out. If you don't know what your planting zone is, it's super easy to figure out. Just open up your Google search bar. I feel like you can tell a lot about a person by their search history, but trust me, there's nothing to see here. You'll type in planting zone, and then you'll look for the USDA hardiness zone. Click on that, and it'll pull up a little map where you can type in your zip code, and it'll tell you what your planting hardiness zone is. Now it's time to go shopping. I lay out all of my seeds and decide which varieties of which plants on my list I want to plant this season. Once I have all of my options selected, I'm going to take these little pods and plant probably 1 to 2 seeds in each of them. I love these little pods, but not as much as Buffy the Garden Chicken. She's a retired laying hen and she helps me with all of my endeavors. Some seeds will start inside, some will go directly into the soil, and some start themselves by the compost that I put in there. If you don't have time to start seeds, or maybe your seedlings died like mine did this year from overheating, you can always go to a hardware store or a nursery and buy some that are in containers. I typically do this with herbs just because I suck at starting herbs at home for some reason, but this can go for any plant. Anyways, that's how I get ready for the fall season. If you have any questions, comment down below, and thanks for watching.